Okay, so let's try these. It says on your own paper, find the value of each variable. And what we have in each of these cases is a set of vertical angles. Remember that you know you have vertical angles if you have two lines that basically make an X. And both parts of the X, the two parts that cross, have to be straight. It can't bend here. It has to go all the way across as a straight line. And then these two angles, the 112 and the X, are vertical angles, which means they're congruent. So in this one, X is 112. Same thing happens here. We have our two intersecting lines, and they form the angle labeled X and the angle labeled 78. So X is 78 degrees. Notice that in both of these cases, the ones that weren't marked would also be congruent. In other words, this angle and this angle, that's also a vertical angle pair. And over here, the star and the star, both of those angles would also be congruent. All right, here we have more than just what we need labeled on this one. So on this one, we basically need to take it one at a time. The X, that's a vertical angle with the 84. Okay, so these two would be the same, so X is 84. And the Y is a vertical angle with the 96, so Y is 96. Okay. Now in the next one, we have a situation where we don't just have a straight X, we have some other stuff going on. So we have to pay a little bit closer attention. Okay. We have to think about that X shape. Let me use a different marker. Here we go. This is my X. This part right here is not part of an X because it does not go on over here. Okay, so the 42 degrees angle is not a vertical angle with anything in this picture. All right. However, we have a big X here. This whole part all the way across here, and this whole part all the way across here, those are vertical angles. So what that tells me is that the 136 is the same as all of this together, and all of that together would be X plus 42. So X plus 42 is 136, which means if I want to find X, I subtract 42 from both sides, and I get 94, and that's my value of X. Okay, last but not least here, we have another pair of vertical angles. Here's my X shape. And this side over here are vertical angles. So that means that 7x has to be equal to 10x minus 48 degrees. Don't be thrown off by these parentheses. The parentheses are just there to show you that that little degree symbol applies to the whole thing. Okay? That's just sort of a technical thing we have to do. So 7x has to equal 10x minus 48 here. So I'm going to move the number to the other side over here. I don't know why. I just like to collect my x's on the side that has more x's to begin with, because that way I have a positive number of x's. Oops, I'm off the screen, sorry. I tell my students, always tell me if I go off the screen or something, but it's kind of hard to do that when it's a video, isn't it? So x is 16. Okay? And in this case, x is just 16. X is not 16 degrees because the degree symbol was there. The x is being plugged in. And that is all of them.